Kramedi, 19, Mikhail Babunashvili,
Hey Tom, how you doing?
20, Tornik Yakubardia, numero 30, 21, Luka Mankawa, numero 28, number 22, Sandro Penza.
Hey Tom, how you doing?
23, Uram Kandaurishvili. Tavarit Meli, head coach Levan Maisashvili. Lokomotive Penza, number 18, number 1, Sergei Sekisov, number 2, Hendrik Van Schoor, number 3, number 3, Daria Donadze, number 4, James Dome, number 14, number 5, German Silengo, number 6, Alexei Bashev, number 7, Ilya Spanderashvili, number 8, Victor.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't hear Tom.
Number 9, Revas Brodzeli, number 10, Sergei Yanushkin, team captain. Number 10, number 11, Andrei Garzanov. Number 12, number 12, Vladislav Sotonov. Number 13, Nika Sirekidze. Number 14, number 14, Daniil Potikhanov. Number 15, number 15, Dimitri Sukhin, Czechoslovak substitutes. Number 16, Texmetic Yuri Choite. Number 17, Tridmetic Mikhail Smagin. Kramedi, number 18, Alexei Titov. Kramedi, 19, Bogdan Irrev. Otsi, 20, Vladimir Geraskin. Otsi, number 22, 21, Rushan Yagudin. Number 22, Pavel Uraev. Number 23, Vladislav Berestiak. Tavarit Meli head coach Alexander Yanushkin.
I'm waiting on Tom.
Tavari arbitri Christian Serban. Assistant Robert Diaconescu, Madalin Gilbao. Match commissioner George.
We had a brief intermission there. I apologize to those who are just jumping on now. Got disconnected for a moment with our microphone, but thank you once again. If you didn't hear me the first time, Tom Eschen here alongside Adam Ash. Adam, are you with us? And if you are, let's talk a little bit about these matches here today, starting off with the Black Lion from Georgia and Lokomotive Penza from Russia.
Hey Tom, how you doing? Great to be here with you today. Really looking forward to this game. Obviously, the Georgian team, Black Lion, have an extremely strong team out there today. A lot of sort of players from the international team that have been involved in this Black Lion team. So it's going to be a tough game for the Lokomotive team. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. Can't wait to see. It's definitely going to be a physical encounter. Always with Russia and Georgia, you can expect a lot of big collisions and big contacts out there. The Lokomotive team, they're looking to use this team as a way to develop and sort of, I guess, grow rugby and grow the interest in rugby. They've, unfortunately for them, lost all 4 games so far, but they've got a strong maul and they like to use that maul to suck the defence in and then strike with their back. So they're a tough team, and again physical, and like to throw the ball about and score some tries out wide.
Absolutely, and you look at, of course, you say, yeah, they've lost their 4 matches thus far, but the last 2 have been really competitive, including when these 2 matched up back on October 24th, a 27-11 victory for Georgia. And that, of course, as you mentioned, Adam, we see how strong Georgia looks with many players from their international team and their national team, and that was a 27-11 Georgia victory then, and it was close for most of that first half. So I think maybe even the fact that though we haven't seen Penza really get on track just yet, I think we're going to have a really competitive battle once again, as in their next match, Penza lost to Tel Aviv, who we've seen as being very strong as well, by just 6, as they are in the bottom of the standings right now, but trying to move their way up and, like you said, get some positive momentum going here today.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a close game. I think we've seen some improvement from the Penza team. Georgia are now starting to be really recognised within world rugby as being a strong team, and this is very much a second team for them. So Yeah, I think we've got a fantastic day, a cracking day, lovely weather, and we should see some good rugby, and I think we'll see a physical, close game today.
As we approach 4 p.m. local time here in Tbilisi, it's right around 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind should be around 16 to 20 kilometers per hour throughout. Not like the first time these two played, in which we had howling winds for most of the match, and that did impact things in quite a big way. As we mentioned, it's been a few weeks since we've seen both of these teams, and I think that's really interesting. Penza, they arrived in Georgia back on November 27th and started training then because they hadn't trained together for 6 weeks. I think maybe you'll see some rust. You think so here, Adam, to start, and then see who can settle in quicker? That might be one of the challenges here to begin today's match.
Yeah, I think that could be the case, and of course, with the last game between these two being under difficult weather conditions, today's game could be completely different. You know, it's often hard to string phases of play together when the wind's up, and often there can be rain as well. Today should be very different. As you say, it's been a while for both teams since they've taken the field, but yeah, we should see I think an interesting game with a lot of big hits, physicality, and teams looking to impose themselves on one another. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. It's going to be an interesting one.
See our refereeing crew here today, led by Christian Serban, Robert Dianconescu, and Madeline Gerbau are his assistants here today. A smile on his face. I mean, you got a smile on your face too, don't you, Adam? Today we got some rugby to play, right?
Yeah, we've got some fantastic rugby, and I'm glad that obviously waking up here on the West Coast nice and early. Well, the last time we woke up and I spoke to you, I can remember we had some awful weather to commentate to, but now a beautiful day in Tbilisi, and yeah, should make for some good rugby.
As you see, the teams take the pitch one by one here in front of about a third of the normal allotment of spectators here at Avchala Stadium, so about 2,000 in attendance here today. These fans in for a nice real treat, as are we, as you know. The Georgian side led by Levan Maishashvili, and as for the Lokomotive Penza side of things, Alexander Yanishkin will lead them as their head coach and trainer here this morning, this afternoon, and then as Adam mentioned, very early in the morning if you're on the west coast of the United States here today. Appreciate Adam and everybody else waking up with us. This one of two matches we have for you here today. We'll have one more tomorrow over the course of this weekend, so make sure to stay tuned for all of that. The Luis Itaños and Brussels Devils will play in our second match of today's doubleheader. And then tomorrow you'll see the Iberians from Spain take on Delta from the Netherlands. The Tel Aviv Heat and NESI STM match has been postponed. We'll let you know when that one will be made up as we continue through these rounds. Georgia's played just 2 matches thus far here in this Rugby Europe Super Cup. They've won both of them. Penza with 4 under their belts. Maybe some of that experience also could help Penza as they had their first 2 losses against NESI STM and then taking on some of the other teams in Black Lion and Tel Aviv Heat in round 3 and 4, and maybe we'll see that play a factor here today. Both sides prepped and ready, and as are we here today for some awesome rugby throughout Europe on this morning of Saturday, December 4th in 2021. In their first match, Georgia actually trailed 6-3 late into that first half and then had 2 tries just within a couple minutes in those final few moments before halftime. Let's see how today's start will dictate the action as the whistle has blown and we are set and ready to go. Here is the opening kickoff into the wind here in Tbilisi, Georgia, as both teams get settled. In the white is Lokomotive, Penza, and Black Lion in the black and a sort of neon yellow here today.
Little knock on by Lokomotive to start there. The Georgians will be pretty happy with that as a way to start the game. Getting the ball back pretty deep into the Russian half and a chance to attack first off in the game here. Good start.
Head coach of Black Lion, Levon Maishashvili, had said a lot of the guys played with their national team and some of their own clubs over the course of the break. Some injuries, and said nothing alarming. He got some players back from injury as well. We want to give more guys opportunities from the national team and trying to do that here today. 6 players making their Super Cup debut here today for Black Lion from Georgia.
We can see already the physicality that the Georgians want to play with, coming around the corner, some strong carries. Just giving away a penalty there. I think someone's went in the side there at the ruck. So, yeah, penalty to Lokomotive, which they'll be happy with considering the intensity that Georgia were carrying the ball there.
Don't forget it, in Penza's last match, it was a wild one with the Tel Aviv Heat, in which Penza led 16-0, and they did a lot of their damage early on with PK, so they would get into the territory of Tel Aviv and then draw a penalty and be able to kick. So they led 16-0, and they allowed 29 unanswered points. So if they can get maybe Georgia on their heels a bit, force a couple penalties early, they'll try probably to replicate that and then finish a little bit stronger than they did last time out back on October 30th. Nice carry on through here from Lasha Kamaladze. Now Tapaladze to the right side. Katiashvili able to pick that up, the loose head prop, number 1. Georgia continuing to push on inside the 22 of Penza here, though that one knocked on and the whistle blows.
I think what we're seeing really early on in this match is the athleticism that the Georgians are showing is impressive, and this has always been the case. You know, when you watch Georgia's national team playing, they always have good athletes. They have a lot of players that are scattered over the Pro 14 or Top 14 tournament in France, and you know, normally extremely big, strong, physical players, and we've certainly seen that in the opening 2 minutes here today.
See the number 10, the fly half, Georgi Babunashvili, the 25-year-old, had 2 tries against Penza the last time these two matched up. Also will handle their kicking duties. And here they get the line out, trying to push forward in the maul. Early momentum here for Georgia, trying to get the first points on the board. That one sent out to Paranidze. Now Georgia playing the advantage, free play. And the whistle blows after the advantage. Georgia will reset to where the penalty was marked.
Be interesting to see what Georgia do here. We can see, yeah, they want to play with intensity. They're trying to play quickly. They want to get the ball out of that ruck and play. They're certainly here to, looks like they're going for the penalty kick, but yeah, they're certainly here to play, and they want to play fast and score tries. So really good intent and good start from Black Lion.
Why do you think they go for the kick here, Adam, instead of maybe trying to get a line out and then a push in the maul, instead of putting type of points on the board here early?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think it's nice to get points on the board early. They've managed to retain that kickoff. They've stole it back from Penza, and I think they've built some nice phases into their half. And I think, yeah, you know, instead of going for the corner or potentially you know, tap and going or whatever for a try, you can get 3 points on the board nice and early, and sort of it just settles you into the game, which is I think what they're trying to do here.
And that's exactly what they do. Georgi Babunashvili able to sink that kick. In his first go around, his first cup here, and working his way through the Georgian ranks. He's got a good personality, a good leader as the fly half. So 3-0, Black Lion with an early lead, early momentum here at home. Their second home game of this Rugby Europe Super Cup. Their debut came on October 16th, a 33-10 win over Tel Aviv. Many, of course, saying this Georgian side probably the favorite of this Eastern Conference coming into the day. And second in the standings, though, NESI SDM has one game in hand with 11 points, with Black Lion their 10. 2 wins.
That's a really
tries.
nice exit. Really clinical exit there from the Georgians. Caught the ball, played one phase, and then set up a lovely box kick and have ended up getting halfway up the field, and sort of put the pressure back on Penza to win the line out and attack from that. Really clinical stuff.
First time we see Penza with the ball in hand here today. There's that high kick fielded by Georgia, dumped off there to Kamaladze. He's able to get it back here. And the whistle blown here by Christian Serban.
And that was a really nice opportunity for Penza there with that turnover. They've spread the ball wide, and often when you get a turnover, the defence is really unorganised, so it's a really good opportunity to attack and put pressure on the opposition. And they looked a little bit threatening there, which is good to see, and they've obviously won a penalty and are going to take the penalty kick just to, again, get themselves some points on the board nice and early and make sure they've got some points and they've got a fight in this game early on.
So it'll be Sergei Yanishkin, actually the brother of the head coach Alexander here for Penza. He's played in every one of these Rugby Europe Super Cup matches thus far. A Team Russia player since 2013. And that kick is up and good. So Penza ties it after drawing the penalty. All tied up here 3-3 as we approach the 10-minute mark here in Tbilisi.
When you're ready.
Yanishkin's started 3 of the 4 matches, now 4 of the 5 counting today. At the fly half, number 10 position.
Advantage.
Nice recovery for Georgia here, now getting inside that Penza towards their 22. So we see from them thus far today. Samtaradze carrying it in. Weedsay playing this one against the grain, now works his way through. Some nice moves inside, hanging on for dear life is Hendrik von Schur.
Release, rock!
Changashvili able to pick that up.
Release right. Release.
And this one pushed in. The whistle blows, though, before Georgia is able to get to the try line.
Holding on.
Yeah, I think what we can see is happening here. So Penza have struggled to gather the first two kickoffs from the Black Lion team, and that's ended up resulting in them having a lot of pressure on themselves. And I actually think they've been really lucky to get away with that there. Some really nice play by the Georgians there to get closer and closer to the Penza line, but they've just not been able to convert that to points. But yeah, Penza really need to work on gathering these kickoffs. If not, they're going to end up spending a lot of time with their own half and be under pressure here.
Georgia was knocking on the door there and faltering late, keeping the score all tied up here, 3-3. Missed opportunity.
Stop. Knock on a little. Scrum black. No. So I will speak. Crouch bind set and we stay stable. Okay? Don't go forward.
Can I ask you a question?
No. No. No problem.
No nonsense from Christian Servat.
Okay.
No, you can't ask me a question. I'm sorry.
Hey, bind your
Yeah.
shoulder before
I
the
love
shot.
the manner.
What do you think the question was there?
I don't actually know. I have no idea. But I love the manners that were in place. You know, he asked if you could ask the question. Sometimes you just see players shouting it out and the referee telling them to shut up.
Niklos Katashvili, the 29-year-old from Tbilisi, the one trying to get his 2 cents in here. Actually part of the Houston Sabercats organization in Major League Rugby. Georgia out in the open here. That's dumped off to Moda Baladze.
Rack. Rack. Stop. Stop. Ball down. I have a flag there. Time off. Leave your room.
Interesting. Not sure what the flags went up for there, but Georgia building pressure, a lot of pressure here, making some really big yards in their carries.
Playing without their captain today, Georgia, Merab Sherakadze. He got hurt while with the national team with their duties. And a couple other players for Georgia that we've seen here in this Rugby Europe Super Cup, Nico Apsioari and Mika Pataria. A couple of other players that are out with injury, but as we mentioned, trying to get some time to some of their other national team players. 6 making their Super Cup debut today. 13 of these players called to international duty in November.
8. So when he came at the clean out here at the rock here, okay, he unintentionally struck a player with his armpit, okay, around the naked face. He will go out for 10 minutes, okay?
Wow.
Okay, we get a yellow card here to number 6, Josip Gushorashvili. I didn't know if we saw that over the course of that play. It might have been on the side of your screen, but so Lokomotive Penza will go a man up for 10 minutes here.
No.
Yeah, I never saw that. That's we've obviously missed that, but yeah, it sounds like in the clean out of the ruck, there's been a little bit of an arm or a shoulder to the face or the jaw, which of course is one of the areas of the game that the referees are really looking to penalise. You know, they're trying to make the ruck safer, and yeah, of course we're only 10 or 15 minutes into the game, and to see a yellow card this early is just shows the intent that the refs are looking to place in this area and make sure that there's no area to sort of yeah. Oh, there we go.
Provide any extracurricular activities inside there, I guess, is one way to put it. Anything extra, you know.
That's exactly it. Yeah, they'll be squeaky clean on all sorts of activity that's going on there. So, and that's the way that it has to be. You know, you can see that in the professional game, the intensity that players are entering into the breakdown and some of the injuries that we've seen there are certainly creeping up over the last couple of years. So it's an area of the game that I'd like to be refereed and sort of a little bit cleaner, or now a safer area of the game.
Scrum here for Georgia. Good push by Penza, though. Now they're playing an advantage, too. The whistle blows there before they get two ahead of steam, so we'll go back to here where the penalty happened.
Good scrum by Black.
It'll be a kick here. Penza trying to get the lead.
I don't think the Georgians will be too happy with that. They've always prided themselves on their scrum, and you know, they've got a lot of players that are playing in France, and I know certainly in the national squad a lot of really experienced players who've got many years of playing in France, where in that national league the scrum is really something that they pride themselves on. So they won't be happy with that scrum, but you know, fair play to Penza for really getting that push forward there. Obviously an area of their game that they put a lot of focus on too.
So they draw the penalty, and Yanishkin here trying to make his second. Pretty much straight away here for Sergey. And he kicks that up, and good. Lovely. 2 for 2 today as Sergey Yanishkin, and Penza takes a 6-3 advantage. Almost like the first time these two played, in which Penza took a 6-3 advantage.
Yeah, that's a huge kick from Yanishkin. Really, really long kick he's got there. So I think that was round about the halfway line. So, you know, not an easy kick to make, but fantastic effort. Again, just struggling to...
Along with his brother, the coach, both saying, yeah, we recognize the talent that's on this Black Lion team, but we won't be intimidated by that. And they haven't early, even despite the fact Georgia really started this game with a lot of momentum. Despite all that, Penza with a 6-3 advantage here. Taking advantage of that yellow card as well that happened back there in the 13th minute.
Totally, you know, when a team gets a yellow card, you always want to try and get points on the board and take advantage of that. But again, we can see, I think, the Georgian team have had a lot of momentum here in the first 15 minutes of this game, but haven't managed to convert that to many points. So they'll be looking to change that and capitalise the pressure they're building into points here now.
No, it's okay. Stop.
Like I had mentioned earlier as well, Penza did get here a week ago to Georgia. Of course, in this day and age when traveling and all this other stuff going on in the world is not the easiest. I think maybe getting here earlier for Penza, maybe just settling in, getting some training, getting a rhythm, maybe help them be a little bit sharper here to start and drawing some of these penalties and not making too many mistakes.
For sure, that always helps. As a player, I've always liked to get places early, and you know, certainly if you've got a bit of travelling to do, it's nice to get there early, get some training done, get used to the surroundings, get used to the environment, the weather, and get settled in. So, yeah, I think the Russian team here are looking relatively comfortable and are certainly living off the Black Lion mistakes at the moment in terms of penalties and field position, and obviously there's 2 successful kicks that they've had nice and early on in this game.
It's one of the first true away games Penza's had. Their only other one was against another Russian team in Nisei STM. So instead here today, going down to Georgia.
Same move. Release. Advantage. Offside.
Abunashvili, the long toss out.
Lovely.
In is Alexandra Todua for the try. Black Lion takes the lead back.
Try. So I think, yeah, what Black Lion did really well there was they we got a couple of really fast rucks, a couple of really quick phases, and then tightened the Penza defence up, and then I've just moved the ball wide really quickly, and we can see there's a bit of space out there, and Todua's done really well to take that ball and finish it off in the corner. So yeah, that's the kind of pressure that we've seen being built here in this first 15 minutes, but really good to see that resulting in points now for Black Lion.
So they take an 8-6 advantage here, nearing the 20-minute mark, about halfway through this first half. Trying to add on a couple more here is Georgi Babunashvili. That's Todua's first try here in his third match of this Rugby Europe Super Cup. Good angle of this one, and you can see it goes just a little wide to the left for Babunashvili. So that kick is no good. The score remains 8-6. Babunashvili, of course, the try assist there. Todua, the 33-year-old Georgia native, part of the Georgia national team, plays currently in the France second tier, as you heard Adam allude to a couple times. A lot of these Georgia players playing in France at the moment, in addition to these duties with the Black Lion squad. Recovery there by James Down.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there from the Georgian team as to who was going to take and catch that ball. But this is definitely an area of the game that both teams can sort of work on. I think going into half-time, coaches will have an emphasis on making sure that teams are gathering their kickoffs, because such an important part of the game. It's like another set piece. A lot of teams view it like that at the moment. You know, often you're getting 3, 4, 5 kickoffs a game, and if you can gather them or if you can steal them, it's a massive game changer in terms of possession.
Do you think the wind's playing a factor at all there, Adam? I mean, we said it's not all of that windy, but it seems like also both these sides are kicking it, using that high, short kick too, which is causing some problems.
I think that might be the case. I think what we've seen from the Georgian team when they're chasing their kickoffs is that they're actually getting a really good chase and making it difficult for the Russian second rows and players to catch the ball. That kick, the last one that we've seen there, the Penza kickoff, that seemed like it was moving around a little bit in the air there, so that could actually be a factor, but it doesn't look massively windy out there. Looks like a lovely day, so, but it could be wrong.
Right around, weather saying right around 16 kilometers per hour. It's about 10 or so. Temperatures are nice, right around 10 degrees Celsius. Early evening here in Georgia, as we right around 4:23 p.m. local time. Georgia trying to settle in, getting into some open space here. Lomidze.
That's a really good turnover there. You see the Georgian players making some really good, strong runs, but players supporting the guys with the ball are just a little bit too slow to the breakdown. And I think it was the Penza winger there that did really well to go over there and jackal that ball and create a turnover for his team. So, yeah, I think the Georgian team just need to be a little bit more clinical and a little bit. They're giving away a lot of penalties here and giving away a lot of possession, but look extremely good when they're on the ball. So they're going to take confidence from that, but need to tidy up these smaller areas of the game so that they can build that pressure and get more points on the board.
The yellow card came in at right around 13 minutes, so that expiring here momentarily. So returning will be that blindside flanker, Josip Gusharashvili. Back to even strength.
First one on the ball, same like the other. Same like the other.
One thing I've noticed so far is the referee has certainly blown his whistle a fair bit in the first sort of 23 minutes of this game. There's been a lot of penalties, a lot of change in possession. and it's really been difficult for teams to build momentum and keep ball for multi-phase rugby. So hopefully as the game goes on, I think the more that we can see teams being able to do that, the more pride, the more excitement that we should see here.
Yeah, once again there, it looked like a failure to release quickly enough. And then one turned back over to Georgia once again. So they kick it inside the half of Penza here, looking to maybe put together a little bit more of what we saw in the beginning, just coming off a try here a few moments ago.
Good steal.
Line out, batted towards Penza.
Release, Black!
Carry there by Von Shore, a strong one.
He's holding on the play.
5'11", 234 from Worcester, South Africa.
Use it now. Rock. Use it.
Revaz Brodzelli, the scrum half for Penza today. There's the kick. And a good catch on the other end by Kamaladze. Kamaladze finds some open space, and he gets into Penza territory.
Kamaladze's had some really strong runs in the first 25 minutes of this game. Looks like a dangerous player.
Played in 3 World Cups over the course of his career with Georgia.
It's okay. It was okay. No.
Great tackle there by German Silanko.
Stay. Use it. Stay up, Black. Stay up. Come up.
Really tightening things up here, the Georgians, and going straight through the middle. And this might be something that they're resorting to just with the amount of penalties that they've sort of been conceding here. Oh, good tackle.
Oh, what a stick. Beautiful there. I believe that was Sozanov.
Time off. Captain, come here.
Yeah, it's a textbook tackle, that Sozanov. Yeah, that's potentially a try-saving tackle there. Really important time there to make that tackle. So, yeah, really impressive.
The next one will go off for 10 minutes, okay?
So a bit of a warning there issued there for Penza by our referee, Christian Servan.
It's okay, yeah? Time on. Offside. Point.
So there you go. The offside actually was called on Penza there, and it looks like Georgia's going to look for some points, look for another kick here for Babunashvili.
Yeah, I mean, there are some really fast phases of play coming in there from the Georgian team, and quite often when that's the case, you almost don't have the time to get yourself back on side as a defending player. And yeah, Georgia will be looking to catch the Russians offside by playing quickly. So I think that happened on multiple occasions there. So the referee just giving the Russian players a warning there to make sure that they get back on side.
Babunashvili has already made a PK today, missed the conversion. This one a little easier than the conversion. 2 for 2 in PKs today is Georgi Babunashvili. 11-6, Black Lion with the advantage here in the first half.
Penalty was kicked by Georgi Babunashvili, number 10.
6 white off. 6 white. Whenever you're ready, you can play, okay?
So Alexei Bashov coming off there, coming in Vladislav Peristiak.
Good, play on. Release! He was first on the ball.
Drawing another whistle here
No.
is Georgia. Another mistake for Penza.
Some really nice tackling coming in there from Lion players. You can see them getting off the line, making those low tackles, and yeah, I think there's been a strong jackal over the ball there, and we've seen the Penza players just not release the ball on the floor, which has resulted in a penalty for Georgia. And lovely kick. Oh, he missed the corner. So, yeah, Penza will take the scrum here.
Playing that one a little bit too close to the chest.
White.
And paying for that here, so immediately turns right back over.
Yeah,
About
I think
half
a
an
little
hour
bit
in
frustrating. Just a little bit frustrating from the Georgian team here. I think we're seeing some really, really good stuff from them, but it's just these little mistakes are just creeping into the game, which are just not allowing them to. I think what we're seeing here is a really, really good team, a strong team that can score a lot of points, but we're just not seeing them being able to convert to that at the moment because there's just a few little mistakes that are creeping into their game. So, yeah, the coach is going to be trying to relay these messages onto the field for sure.
So they're coming out of the scrum, so Grisev gets an open lane and he takes it in.
Advantage. Not rolling away. Stop. We go back to advantage.
Flag goes up here. Looks like that was back playing the advantage for Penza, so they'll get it where that whistle was blown. Let's see if they try and put some more points on the board.
Yeah, I think
Yes, Penza went out of bounds, but they were playing into touch, excuse me. They were playing advantage anyway, so a free play. And now we have a player down here, about a half an hour in. Reaching the bottom of the hour here in Tbilisi, Georgia, alongside Adam Ash. I am Tom Ash, and you're watching the Rugby Europe Super Cup. The Black Lion from Georgia with an early lead over Penza so far here today, Adam. And like you said, Georgia's felt like they've had a lot of momentum, but Penza, when they've had an opportunity and not made a mistake, they've sort of kept themselves in the game. It feels like it could be a much bigger lead for Georgia thus far. Yeah,
Penza have definitely kept themselves in the game through feeding off the sort of ill-discipline and mistakes from the Georgian team. You see that last penalty there again, the Georgian team not rolling away, and I think we'll end up seeing Penza taking that penalty kick again. And again, it's 11, if they make that kick, 11 points to 9 that'll be. So it's a very close game. But I think we can see from watching this first 30 minutes, this Georgian team here have got some fantastic athletes and have a strong game plan, but they've just not been able to piece everything together due to some mistakes and sort of ill-discipline at times. But yeah, I think that the Russian team will be happy to sort of be keeping themselves this close to a really strong Georgian side at this point in the game.
It's an important part here, the final 10 minutes of the half, and the first time these two met back on October 24th, it was close there as well, 6-3. Penza had an advantage, and then Georgia, 2 late tries at the end of the first half sort of gave them all the momentum heading into halftime. And now Penza looking to add 3 more. This could be a big kick here for Sergei Yanishkin. He's 2 for 2 in PKs today. Similar to their attack against Tel Aviv in their last match here in the Rugby Europe Super Cup, in which they went up 16-0 via 3 PKs there as well. So with the boot of Yanishkin, it always sort of keeps them in play.
Yeah, Yanishkin is definitely keeping them in the game here. And as you said, Tom, the last 10 minutes of the first half and the first 10 minutes of the second half are extremely important parts in the game. Often teams can fatigue at the end of the first half, and it's a great time to get points on the board. And then equally, having a really strong start to the second half and coming out firing can almost be a momentum changer and can swing things a little bit. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things pan out here in the last 7 minutes of this half.
Rare miss there for Yanishkin there, so the score remains 11-6. Looked like he had a pretty good look at that one. Don't see that often from him. This time he boots it into Georgian territory. Catching and running is Babunashvili. That time the whistle going the way of Penza.
That's very good. I think looking back over the last half an hour here of rugby, the Russians have actually been very, very strong at the defensive ruck. I think they've got 3 or 4 turnovers through actually poaching and jackling the ball to the ruck there. So this is clearly an area of their game that's very strong, and they'll look to continue to stop the Georgian team building that momentum is to steal the ball at the ruck. So pretty impressive stuff.
They've certainly held their own. They get a line out here. Better push from Georgia this time up front. Penza keeping their ground as well now. One squirts forward. See if Penza can get closer, maybe in for a try. Possibly to tie or even take a lead here late in this first. Deep pass out to that left side. Ball squirts free. Gathered though by Penza here.
Stop. We go back. Stop.
And Penza playing the advantage. Let's see what they do with it. A penalty back where that penalty was blown.
Stop them. No, don't play. Time is off. Again, you three have too many penalties when they come here, okay? Okay, you have to talk with them, not throw the ball. On the line. Time on.
I think we'll see Penza go back to the maul here. This is a strong area of their game, and they put a lot of emphasis on, as we spoke at the start of the game, mauling, tightening up teams and then spinning the ball wide, which they tried to do there, but just the passing a little bit inaccurate, which left them on the back foot there, and being shifted into touch by the Georgians.
Key opportunity here for Penza. Turn that ball a bit to the left side. Inching closer to the try line. Do they get in? It's a try for Penza, and this game is tied, 11-11.
Wow.
Tiriel Donadze.
That's an impressive try. You're really, really well worked maul, and we spoke about the threat that the Russians had here in their maul at the start of the game, and I actually thought that the previous maul was really well built as well, and good to see them getting some change and getting over the line here. But that's a massive effort. Really, really well done. We've got a game on our hands now.
They're certainly holding their own here, Adam, up front. I mean, like we talked about with Georgia, that's sort of what we have come to know and learn through at least their first couple of matches, is you sort of expect Georgia to sort of win those mauls and scrums, but Penza has been with them, even better than them in that aspect of this match so far today.
Yeah, I'm really, really impressed, and we've seen it in the scrum too. Certainly in the set piece area so far, we've seen some a really, really well matched game so far, which is credit to the Russians, because the Georgians are certainly known for their strength in this area. Playing against teams like Scotland and Ireland, England, the Georgians have often given them a really, really good matchup. So this is a good sign for the Penza team here, that they're in a really good place when it comes to their set piece.
I think we jinxed Sergei Yanishkin talking about his boot, because he's missed his last two. First that PK a few moments ago, and then now that conversions. That would have given Penza a 2-point advantage. Instead, we're all knotted up here, 11-11.
Option. Gone.
Looks like there, Gushirashvili. Thought maybe there was another body around him. That was not the prettiest play I've ever seen.
Yes. Yes.
Again, just that kick going out there on the full. I think this Georgian team here are going to be a little bit disappointed at the amount of kind of errors and turnovers that they've faced here in this first half, because there's no doubt about it, when they're on the ball they look dangerous, but they've just not been able to sort of cut these mistakes out of their game that are going to enable them to get points on the board and build a lead, which again is leaving Penza an opportunity to come back into the game, which they've done so well here towards the end of the second half.
Few minutes here remaining in this first half. 11-11, and Penza's taken some of that momentum here. Now they have a scrum.
That's a fantastic scrum by both teams.
Beautiful. That one just looks pretty. That knocked forward. The Georgia
really
does gather it.
Doctor, stay, time off. Stay, no, stay. It will be a knock on for you, knock on by White. I stopped because I saw, that's why I stopped. Yeah? You're okay? No. We kept.
There's that initial hit. And I think there was some friendly fire there.
No, knock on by White.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a head collision from two Georgian players there. It looks like everyone's back on their feet, so good news.
That was Dmitry Sukun, who was actually hurt in round 1 of this Rugby Europe Super Cup. He was out for about a month, made his return against Tel Aviv back on October 30th, so maybe dodging a bullet there. It will be a scrum here for Georgia after the knock-on by Penza.
Crouch.
2,000 in attendance here on the edge of their seats. Some even standing here in Tbilisi.
Knee on the ground.
Just heard it there from Serban. Knee on the ground for Penza, and Georgia will get now maybe try to kick this into Penza territory and see if they can put something together here at the end of the half.
Yeah, this will be the last opportunity for the Black Lions to get some points on the board before we finish up here for half-time. So, got to capitalise here. This will be an important play in the game. Looking back, in hindsight, I think when the guys look at this on Monday, the footage or whenever, got to capitalise. Good line out.
Offloaded inside. Picked up here by James Down. Chayashvili on this side. Picked up by Penza on the other end. Down involved there.
Use it. Move right.
Piranidze goes back the other direction. That one, they'll boot it forward.
No, stop. Knock on by Black.
Booted again. That's actually called the knock-on.
Half time.
And
Put your hand down. Time.
Believe that should just about do it here for this first half. A little sloppy play to finish here, Adam, but I think that after a pretty competitive first half at that, we're in store for a pretty good second half, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, again, there we're seeing at the end of the first half there, the Russian team's ability to cause problems at the breakdown and create turnovers through stripping the ball in the tackle and also competing strongly at the ruck are causing the Georgian team some problems. So, yeah, it's impressive stuff, and I think the Georgians are going to go in here at half-time, and coach is going to give them some sort of words around mistakes and keeping hold of the ball and building that pressure in better ways going into the second half.
So throw the records out between these two. We said it was going to be competitive, despite the fact that Penza is still looking for their first win in 4 tries in this Rugby Europe Super Cup. They're all tied up with presumably very strong Black Lion team who come in today 2-0. 11-11 as we are through 40 minutes in Tbilisi, Georgia. A competitive half at that, in which we had a try from Alexander Todua for the Black Lion team, an exciting try at that, and then down in there at the try line, Teriel Donedza for Penza getting a try of his own and a couple kicks apiece for Georgi Babunashvili and Sergei Yanishkin. Maybe Yanishkin thinks he left a few points on the board, missing 2 of those late. Maybe 5 points at that, a conversion and a PK. Maybe he thinks he could have had that back and given Penza a lead heading in to the sheds after the first 40 minutes of this one. Take a look at some of the stats here at the half between these two. About even throughout this match here today. Let's take a look here at these first half highlights, Adam. Started out with the Black Lion squad. They had a lot of the momentum, but they let some of those opportunities lie in wait.
Absolutely. I think they started the game really well and built some good phases. We could see a lot of examples of them getting their good athletes and strong runners on the ball and getting really good go forward. But yeah, I mean, credit to Penza, this Russian team here. They've done a really, really good job at stopping the Georgian team gain momentum. You can see here, I think this is Kamaladze, the fullback, a really, really strong runner, and we've seen multiple examples of him causing trouble there from the backfield. So yeah, it's been an exciting first half, and there's been a lot of good rugby and a lot of back and forth that's gone on.
Yeah, similar to the tactics we've seen from Penza in a couple of matches so far, is be able to draw a couple penalties there inside the other team's halfway mark and get some kicks, get some points on the board, and then, you know, like we said, up front they've done a great job, especially with those front three and scrums and even in the maul too, of just stalemating Black Lion and sometimes winning that gain line.
Yeah, this is an extremely strong area of the game. The Penza team here, they've obviously worked hard on their maul and their scrum, and as I mentioned a couple of times there in the first half, to come out on top against a Georgian team in the set pieces is an extremely hard thing to do, and they've managed to probably do that in the first half. And I also think at the ruck, they've got a lot of change out of competing there, and yeah, it's going to be a very exciting second half. You know, this is probably a tighter game than I thought it was going to be, and I know we spoke about the last time these guys played, the weather was a little bit different, but I think here on this lovely day for rugby, it's actually tightened things up even more. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting one in the second half.
Yeah, of course, this a key match. You know, Penza's really just got to get their wins and their bonus points to just keep themselves in the conversation for the semifinal, and Black Lion wanting to keep themselves in the conversation for the home semifinal game as they are in that top two, but also with Tel Aviv at any side. It's a very competitive top three here in the Eastern Conference, so both of these sides showing out today and competitive at that, and like we've seen, a lot of these countries and teams looking just to also get some players in there, give them experience here in European competition. And so far, so good, and it's been good here today in Tbilisi, Georgia. So we will take a break for halftime and then get you back out here for the second half. You're watching the Rugby Europe Super Cup live from Tbilisi, Georgia.
Lokomotive. We want to have a good time. That's what we're going to do. Well, wait a minute. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
live here in Tbilisi, Georgia, alongside Adam Ash. I am Tom Eschen. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. A competitive first half here in Georgia today, all tied up 11-11. What do you think we have in store here in the second half, Adam? What do you expect on both sides of things? You saw a little bit of everything in that first half.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to say what's going to happen here. A tight game. I think probably we've been a little bit surprised by the strength of the Russian set piece and the defending ruck as well. They've created a lot of opportunities to attack and get themselves into good field position based off really good decisions and turnovers at the ruck. So I think that we're going to see a tight game here. If the Russian team can continue to keep this pressure on at the breakdown, it's going to make it extremely hard for the Georgians to play. And we've seen that they've got strong runners when they can build momentum and keep the ball for multiple phases of time. But yeah, I think it's going to be tight. I don't think either team here is going to run away with this game. And yeah, it's going to make for an 80-minute match of excitement, and it should go right down to the wire, I think.
Yeah, maybe some of that experience that Penza has in this competition. They played 4 matches more than anybody else in this Eastern Conference so far. They have just 1 point. They're 0-4 in those 4 matches, but here today they've been ever so competitive. They are in 4th in the Eastern Conference, Black Lion in 2nd. They have played just 2 matches. That's the fewest. They have 10 points overall. That's just 1 behind NSI STM, as Georgia's looked very strong so far, but Penza giving everything they can handle here today. Saw a try from Alexandra Todua in the first half for Georgia, and for Penza, Tyriel Don Adza was able to touch it down. Stalemate in the scrum. Penza comes out with it. Fans like that big hit here today. Right around 10 degrees Celsius in Tbilisi, around 2,000 people in attendance, and Georgia wins this back.
Good scrum.
Again, I think the referee is really favouring the defending team at the ruck. We can see how many turnovers have been conceded at the ruck, just due to really good jackling and good pressure there from the defensive team. So yeah, I think it might be an opportunity to actually, for attacking teams, to kick the ball down the field, and actually to defend. You might be better off here playing on that side of the ball rather than attacking, because the ref seems to be blowing his whistle a lot for the defending teams at the ruck here.
Right, you sort of just keep on defending, and wait for the whistle to blow and get it back.
Yeah, and then kick the ball down the field and put yourself in a good position where you can maul, you can have a line out and attack and potentially score points from there, or even get a penalty kick and continue building pressure that way.
Push and carry here, Lasha Jayani, the 23-year-old. Youth player for Georgia, made his first senior debut with the national team in February 2020.
Black by black, scrum white. Block.
But again, the Russians making things extremely difficult for the Georgians here, holding that ball up there to create them all, and yeah, they're gonna get the scrum here. So again, being very disruptive and I think frustrating the life out of the Georgians here, stopping them from building any sort of pressure or momentum.
Just able to gather that in time as Revas Bronzelli, and the whistle blows. Competitive scrum there from both sides of the equation.
We can see these errors starting to sort of accumulate here. the Georgian team couldn't really get the ball out of that scrum there. So
Keep it up, keep it up.
a little bit of tit for tat. The referee again is having quite a big influence in this game by blowing his whistle. Lots of turnovers, lots of change in play, but hopefully we can begin to see this game open up a little bit here in the second half.
Christian Serban, our referee today. Here comes the scrum for Georgia. Big push from the front three of Georgia. Stop and go traffic continues. Another whistle coming out of the scrum.
That was a really, really dominant scrum there from Georgia. That's the Georgia we're used to seeing here. So they'll look to, I don't know what they're going to do here. I think they might end up taking points. Oh no, they've kicked into the corner. So yeah, they want to, they want to get more points on the board. We can see they're definitely capable of it. So I think they're going to back themselves here.
Made here for Penza. He's coming off as Hendrik van Schoor, the South African. His day is done as that number 2. Spinning out of the maul and an offload and the try. Pretty play for Georgia. Tanguy Peranidze.
Lovely try, and again, as we mentioned in the first half, the first 10 minutes here in the second half is going to be extremely important. Definitely a good decision to kick into the corner there. That ball got moving forward really quickly. The Russians did well to regather, but really good decision to break off there, and lovely offload to complete that try to Peranidze. That's a fantastically well worked try, and that could change the swing of momentum here, and the Georgians will be looking to build off this.
I believe that was Sandro Mamamtavich really able to get that run and offload late. Pretty play by the 23-year-old. Here's Babu Nashvili looking to add 2 more. 0 for 1 today in conversions, 2 for 2 on penalty kicks. The kick, and can't not get it inside that left upright. So it's been a tough spot for both sides. Janishkin missed the kick from there too today.
Yeah, I think there must be a
remains 16 to 11 Black Lion.
This wind must be playing a bit of a factor out here today. Certainly we can see there was a bit of movement in that kick there. Pulled it left and then it sort of swung back round towards the post, but just missed. So it looks like the ball's moving around a little bit in the air there on the kickoff.
Those winds now blowing closer to about 20 kilometers per hour, providing just enough to make it a little bit tricky out there. Sun slowly going down here in Tbilisi, Georgia, here this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you might be. Just past 5 p.m. local time.
Georgians are going to have to be a lot more effective at the ruck and at the breakdown. We can see again another turnover conceded here. And credit to Russia where credit's due. That's an extremely well-worked bit of play there. But they've missed their kick to touch here. But yeah, Georgians have got to tidy up their attack and ruck. They've got to be more effective at removing players in there that are trying to jackal and steal the ball, because they're just losing far too much possession at the moment, which is stopping them from playing at their potential.
On the line, on the line. Numbers! How many? 6. Okay.
So Penza with the line out. They tried to kick that into the corner and couldn't kick it into touch. So now the line out that they botch a little bit here. And now the ball is free in the middle of the pitch.
No. First knock on by black. First knock on by black. Second by white. We go here. Sorry. First knock on by black. Okay. Okay, second by white. We go back to the first infringement. Go left a little.
There'll be a scrum here for Penza, as you heard a referee, Christian Serban, explain it for us all. Approaching the 50th minute here in Tbilisi.
Use it. Last.
On that right side goes Penza, getting some meters as well.
Sorry. No, right.
And taken away by Gusharashvili.
Hands down first, afterwards going for the ball.
That's probably the first time in this game we've seen a decision at the defensive ruck go against the defensive team. I think we've just seen Gusharashvili, his hands are on the ground there just before he tried to take that ball there, which of course is illegal. So penalty goes to the Russian team, and they'll be in a pretty good position to get some points here.
Just like we saw a few moments ago, a line out here, this time for Penza on the other end. We're going to see if they can tie it up.
Stay more! Stay more! Move! Look! No! Black hands! No. No! Leave the ball back.
Penza moving closer. That one for Silanko.
Leave the ball back.
And they are so close.
Stay back.
Now they tried out wide with Yanishkin. The deep pass out wide to Karzanov. Karzanov is in.
Lovely try.
16-16.
Close game shaping up here. I really like that. You can see the Russian team had to work really hard for that try there, with a lot of pick and goes, and came really close to the line on 3 occasions there. But lovely timing with the pass there, and by no means was that a finished try there with that pass. There was a lot of work there for Tadua still to do, but yeah, that'll be him in for his second of this match, I believe.
The first for Karzanov today. It was Donetsk for the first time for Penza, the tight end prop this time.
I get that.
The great catch, though, by Karzanov.
Right.
And like you said, the finish. He had work to do. But Yanishkin also, the muscle to get it out there. Like we said, the conditions aren't the easiest here today, but Yanishkin able to give him enough space to do some work himself. Now Yanishkin to try to get the conversion
lovely
here.
Footwork. Really nice footwork from Karzanov there to finish that off. That was by no means a finished try. Great pass as well from Yanishkin, as you say. Perfect timing to spread it wide.
He misses the conversion, so we all are still knotted up here, 16-16. A close battle here today in beautiful Tbilisi as the sun continues to set here in the capital of Georgia.
Backward.
Penza with possession. Trying that kick to get out of dodge.
Hey. Come on. One black off. Black number 1 off. Yeah. 1.
It'll be really interesting to see how the substitutes can impact the game here. Obviously, with the game being really tight so far, you know, both teams will be looking for their subs to come on off the bench and make an impact in this game. And normally we see one team sort of do a better job of that than the other, so they could have a huge impact on this game.
Goga Kadaria checking in here today now for Niklos Katiashvili.
Nice goal.
Whistle there before Georgia was able to squirt through, so play stopped.
I was in
And
front
back
of
over
you.
to
You
Penza
passed
we
me,
go. Fans
okay?
not a fan of that.
I was in front of you and the ball came to me. Okay.
Yeah, forward pass. You can see the creativity from the Georgian team here. They have got a strong game plan, and they've got some fantastic plays that they're trying to put out there in the field, but just the execution today that they've kind of is the one part that they've let themselves down with. You know, they've just forward pass there, just a really sort of simple error that could be avoided, and potentially if that pass had went a bit further backwards, could have been a clean line break and could have been trouble for Russian.
Wait, no. Leave the shirt. Leave the shirt. He has to bind somewhere, okay? Leave the shirt. Okay? Leave the shirt. He has to bind 2 on the shirt, okay? No. He has to leave the shirt down. Not grab it. Not grab it off, okay?
All right, now we've got everybody's shirt figured out. Back to the scrum we go here for Penza. And the scrum collapses here.
Let's go down again. Okay, let's do it again. Bind with your shoulder. It's the last time when I'm telling you. Yeah, come on, little. Come on, little. Yeah, you have to bind with your shoulder. You cannot do an extra shock. Okay?
Don't forget there is a new loose head prop here. Just checked in. It's Goga Kadaria, so getting himself acclimated into the way that Christian Serban has adjudicated this so far. Part of this delay.
Going down here. Going down.
So the whistle going the way of Penza. They'll get a kick here to try to advance.
Some real competition going on at the scrum here, and I think it was only a matter of time in this game until the referees started to intercede and there'd be some tough calls made there. But yeah, we can see there's a little bit of back and forth going on there, and that normally sort of happens when reserve props come onto the field. So hopefully they can get that figured out as soon as possible, and we can see that ball coming in and out and some more attacking rugby.
Stay.
Lights coming on here in Avchala Stadium in Tbilisi now. Temperatures cooling a bit accordingly.
Option. Cap. Option.
I think that was a not a straight pass on the line out there for Penza, so that going the way of Georgia.
Yeah, nice movement in the line out, but the hooker just couldn't get that throw straight, so it'll be a scrum to Georgia here. They'll be looking to make their way into the Russian half for sure here.
Time off. He's from the scrum.
Matkava coming in. So he will play that role, the scrum half, I believe. Actually, Babunashvili will come out. So Babunashvili exits after making a couple of PKs and Also with a try assist on the day, as Matkava comes in for the first time. We'll see who takes the kicking duties now for Black Lion here moving forward as we make our way through this second half. Like Elias Bondarashvili right now down, getting tended to for an injury.
Come a little, come a little. Don't wave around. Behind my back.
Looks like we are set and ready to go. We've reached about an hour on the game clock. 20 minutes to play halfway through this second half. And we are still tied 16-16. An Eastern Conference matchup between the Black Lion from Georgia and Lokomotive Penza from Russia. One of two matches we have for you here today. And we see Tanos and Brussels will play next.
Safe come. Yeah, yes. Doctor. Ramon was on the other side, okay? We'll do a reset. We'll go here a little, okay? Just wait from the doctor for him. Okay. Yeah, we'll move a little. We'll move a little. Yes. Wait.
Really is a fantastic matchup in the scrum today. Both teams having a real good go at each other, and we've probably not seen one team come out on top yet so far, but you can see the intensity that these guys are pushing at. There's, you know, some real tension in this area of the game.
Keep it up. Ready?
Whoever now in these final 20 minutes can get the edge here could be the ones that have the edge on the scoreboard when it's all said and done too.
If the time is stable, don't push, just get the ball out, okay? Sorry. Doctor! Medic! Time off.
Another injury here coming into the scrum. Some cramping starting to happen as well. Like I said, cool temperatures, right? Now dropping below 10 degrees Celsius as night continues to fall here in Tbilisi. Looks like some cramping happening.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. The old cramp starts to kick in around 55, 60 minutes in a game. So, yeah, I'm sure these players they'll be starting to feel it, especially after such a physical encounter. You know, we've seen the scrum, we've seen them all, we've seen some of the ball carries off 9 and some of the physical forward play, pick and goes. So these guys are going to be starting to get tired out there, and that could definitely play a factor in the last 20 minutes of this game.
Nodar Chayeshvili comes back up after cramping for a few moments, and he'll get involved here in this scrum.
Come on, guys, let's go good scrum.
Actually, he's not going to get involved in the scrum. He's going to come off. So that's it for Chayeshvili. He's had enough here today.
Crouch. Bang.
These Paranidze to send it in. Does have a try today. Scrum half, the number 9 for Black Lion.
Stop.
Oh.
Pass was in front. Scrum wide.
A forward pass for Georgia. Penza gets the scrum after it looked like Georgia was really stringing something together there.
Stay. You have some. 9.
That's really unfortunate there. Some a really good opportunity and platform to attack off, especially after the game had slowed down there for a few minutes just with all that scrum stuff going on. But a forward pass is again just an unforced error there that is going to allow the Russian team to come back into the game and give them another opportunity in the Georgian half. Some subs coming on.
More changes.
Yeah,
More
sorry,
changes
sorry
being made.
Let's go.
There's no number that we can see here, so. Could be Georgi Kuroashvili. We'll check on that for you as Georgi Pertaya comes out.
Bang! Set! Use it, stay, use it. One.
Zanoff does have a try today. Some good footwork.
Stay.
Nice carry here into the territory of Georgia. An opening here on the inside for Grisev. Oh, trying to get tricky there with Sukun, and that was stopped in its tracks by Georgia. Now here they have an opportunity. Good tackle, though, right there at midfield by Sazonov.
Move right! Move right!
Both sides just looking for a crack. All knotted up, 16-16.
Stay back. Move!
Good to see this game opening up a little bit more now. Teams building some more phases, and the Georgian team seem to be creeping into the Russian half here. So, poor pass.
As you say that, it looked like a
Yeah,
turnover.
I
Maybe
know.
Lisu picks it up. Yanishkin picks it up.
Knock on here. No.
Knock on called. So everything sort of stops there after some free-flowing play for a few moments on both sides.
Yeah, we can see, both teams, at first there, I think it was the Russian team knocked the ball on, and the Georgian team sort of capitalised with a nice little bit of play down the right-hand side of the field, and then not long after that, the opposite thing happened, and the Russian team ended up trying to kick the ball through. So these are great opportunities for both teams to capitalise off. Whenever a team loses the ball, their defence is unorganised, so that's the chance to attack and really put the foot down, and often we see teams scoring and getting points off the back of that. So it could be something like that. It could be a situation or scenario like that in this game that wins the game for either team here. A breakaway play or a bit of smart play from someone. So yeah, I think we need to keep our eyes peeled for that.
Looks like Black Lion has replaced their entire front three here now in the second half. Kurushvili does come in. Nika Abuladze also in there as well. Gogay Kadaria. Now the front three for Georgia. See how that impacts things moving forward after the prior three. Katiashvili, Zamtaradze, and Perta Iya all did a great job. As Penza has done a great job themselves too. Coming free off of that scrum, Ivanishvili. A big bump at the end off of Pitakininov. And it looked like a knock-on after that's recovered by Penza. They'll play the advantage. And they'll continue play here. And they take advantage of this. That one booted ahead, trying to track it down is Karzanov. Todua hit pretty hard. Fumbles it forward. And it'll go back to Penza.
A few mistakes just creeping into this game here there, but we can see that was a fantastic carry off the back of the scrum by Avinashvili. And I think that another interesting aspect to this game here will be the substitutes that come on in the front row. Will the Russian team be able to match the quality and the experience that comes off the bench for the Georgian team in the front row? And I think what we seen in that last scrum was actually the Georgian team beginning to ascend and move forward in the scrum here. So this could be an important part of how things play out here.
14 minutes. 1-4. Let's go right.
Just 20, just turned 20 years old, back on November 25th. Just had a birthday, the Georgia native, part of the Georgia U20 national team.
You could certainly see his youth when he broke off the back of that scrum there. His speed, his energy, and his pace, really, that was impressive. It was a lovely run.
Got those young legs.
Yes, indeed.
Use it! You still have advantage. Yeah.
Like Black Lion was offside there. Now Penza playing the advantage.
Hands! Hands! We have advantage. Nah. Stop. We go back. We go back.
And there you go. We'll go back to where we all began after Penza could not take advantage of their advantage.
By Black. Option. Okay. Time off.
That's where Christian Servan decided to stop the play, and now an injury being attended to on the Georgia side as Penza had the option there, didn't catch what they decided to do. I think they kicked that into touch. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And just as I made that comment there about the Georgian substitute front rows coming on there, we've seen a really, really strong scrum from the Russian team. So, yeah, there's certainly a lot of back and forth and not really any teams dominating this area of the game. So it's an interesting matchup today.
One step in front, one step in front.
Yeah, they still have Sakisev and Donetza as the props in there. Have not replaced them up front after Von Shore came out right around the 51st minute. Here they come in the line with Drisev. And Georgia gets the turnover. They come out with it.
Stay.
Looked like Penza for a second there was gaining. Georgia gets it right back.
Stop. We go back to advantage. No advantage. Knock on by white. Scrum Black.
So that's how they got it back to knock on.
Really good opportunity for Penza there to get some points on the board, but yeah, they've lost that ball. And I think, you know, compliments to the Penza front row here. They've brought their substitute hooker on by the looks of things, but you know, 68 minutes into the game and both props going strong, and that's not an easy thing to do. Some of the size of some of these guys, the weight that they carry around the field to be lasting this long is pretty amazing.
Sakisev at 104 kilos. Donetza at 35 years old on the other end. A big strong carry by Ivanishvili.
And down, and down.
But that whistle goes against Georgia.
From the side and stealing off.
So let's see, this happened at the breakdown here, Adam.
Yeah, so what's happened there, you can see the Georgian players it looked like they've come in the side and they've also went off their feet, so the referee's blown up for that. So another opportunity here for the Russian team to get some points on the board. But what's been really impressive is Ivanishvili. He seems to be a really strong carrier off the back of the scrum, and I think he's certainly part of the Georgian team here that I think they need to get more involved in the game. Every time he touches the ball, he seems to make 10 or 15 metres in behind, which is creating really good go forward for them.
So it will be the Georgian here for Russia. Revaz Brodzelli said coming into this match, he's got to play against my friends who I've known for a long time. Part of the Russian national team, though, has a Georgia lineage. Revaz Brodzelli to give Penza the lead. The lefty kick is good. Penza leads 19-16 with about 10 minutes to play here on the road in Tbilisi. Big kick, big opportunity for Penza as they get one step closer to their first win in the Rugby Europe Super Cup.
Yeah, they'll be really pleased that they've come away with some points there. They obviously couldn't score the try, but to get 3 points on the board at this point in the game is massive. Black Lion haven't managed to convert whilst being in the Russian half so far, so that's really big. That's a big play.
Don't forget, Penza, they played 4 matches here, not including today, of this Rugby Europe Super Cup. They have not won any of them. Georgia 2-0 have looked like one of the stronger teams in this competition. But here it is, less than 10 minutes to play, and Penza upset-minded here on the road.
Play on. Hands.
In for a thrilling finish. Stay tuned.
We have ball there. So.
A nice carry there. Kamaladze again. You can see the crowd starting to murmur, starting to grow a bit. Turn up the volume. About 2,000 here in attendance today. And that's going to be a whistle there.
I think they're going to want to kick this into the corner. Put Penza under some pressure at the line-out maul.
Yeah, we didn't hear much of the crowd until now here today, Adam. And now we got some chanting going on, and they're getting into this, knowing maybe things aren't as certain as maybe we thought when we got in here today.
Yeah, it's a huge match, and 2,000 fans is a great turnout today, and I'm sure the fans probably thought that this game was going to be a lot easier than it's panned out to be today. So yeah, they'll be getting on their feet and cheering, and the Georgian team are going to need it here.
Ivan Maishashvili, the Black Lion coach, said it's important that we have the fans here. The more beautiful the spectator, the more charm the game gives. This one's got all sorts of charm to it. Here as we reach 73rd minute. A push here for Georgia. Ball flying out there perilously, but gathered once again. Ivanishvili, the 20-year-old, been really good in this second half.
Stay right. Stay right. Move right. Blocking. Use the ball.
Saw Georgia do this at the beginning of the match, and they had some opportunities they missed. A couple of penalties deep inside the 22 of Penza. Strong run, taking closer to the try line. One more offload. What a tackle there. Penza standing tall. Get the stop there by Christian Serban. A lot of bodies on the field. Look at that. 5 of them for Penza. They are spent.
Yeah, you can see the amount of Russian players there on the ground. It's just a massive effort going in from every single one of them. And you can see that they're really, really attacking that breakdown hard. They're putting a lot of numbers in there to try and slow the ball down and steal the ball. And there is space wide for the Georgian team here to take advantage of, but we're just seeing a little bit of inaccuracy and a dropped pass and some mistakes creeping into their game here when they really need to get points on the board.
So Grisev will come off. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, Adam. We had, 5 Russian guys that were on their knees after that. They're leaving it all out here, right? I mean, this is unbelievable.
They really are.
That was a bad kick by Georgia, right?
Yeah, I think that went out dead. Yeah, drop out. That's a really wasted opportunity. They're going to be kicking themselves at that. That's such a shame.
Wow. So after all of that,
Come on, let's play.
Penza gets the ball here for a kick. Georgia, of course, will have the opportunity here to return back into Penza territory, but still, for now, Penza survives.
Yeah,
into the opening, Todua.
Play on. Release.
What a match. Approaching the final 5 minutes, 19-16, the Russians ahead of the Georgians.
Move right. Okay.
Carry Pressure for Abuladze.
Use it. No. Move. Use it. No, why no? Use it.
I think we're seeing the intensity going up by both teams here. It's a crucial last 5 minutes here. Oh, lovely play.
Matava. The offload, one more, and they get it. Who else? Luka Ivanishvili.
No try.
No try, excuse me, that one waved off.
Let's go,
They say that pass, I believe, was a forward one, and it looked like Georgia took the lead. It's taken away. Good call.
Yeah, the young number 8, definitely a forward pass. I actually suspected that when I seen it, but the young number 8 will be disappointed not to go over the line there. I think if there's anyone that deserves a try here late in this game, it's him. We've seen him carry the ball exceptionally well and make his impact on this game. But yeah, just again, just the fine margins and small mistakes that have crept into the Georgian team's game here that have really let them down. They've had so many opportunities to convert and actually get points on the board, but have struggled to do so.
Come on, Lucas, come on.
Just a few minutes remaining. This will be a scrum for Penza. Let's see what kind of push Black Lion can get, though, knowing the game's on the line. Takisif, Donadza still in there. Guys that started in that front row for Penza. Those props.
Yeah, they'll be crying out.
Brand new 3 for Black Lion.
He'll be in some serious pain. The Penza front row players at the moment. It's not often you see front row players managing to play in 80 minutes. It's a big ask.
Kick kicked up. And into touch, yes, briefly there.
That's a good exit. They've done well to get themselves out of their own 22-metre line there. Get themselves up the field a little bit. It's time to turn it on though for the Black Lion team here. They need to. This is their last crack at the whip, I think.
We approach the 80th minute. Penza just a couple minutes away from possibly maybe the biggest upset we've seen in this competition's brief history. Abunashvili. You mentioned at the top some of those injuries maybe creeping in for Georgia. You know the depth of their squad, but sometimes with guys that have been pretty steady through this competition, not having them here today, maybe playing a factor. But Penza deserves all the props in the world. They've done everything they can here today. A 3-point advantage. Tried to prevent the knock on. They could not do so. Penza gets the ball back.
Really, really good defence from Penza there. You can see the aggression and the intensity that they're getting off the line with. And they're putting Black Lion under a lot of pressure. Just struggling to keep hold of the ball. But yeah, it's been a great game. It really has panned out to be such a close, competitive game here today. And yeah, it looks like we've 30 seconds on the clock to go and scrum to Russia.
Time is off at the moment for an injury. You saw there Viktor Grisev put together a great performance as the number 8 here today for Penza. He's the captain of the Russian national team. Done a nice job today too, trying to deliver a victory here for Lokomotive Penza, who play, of course, in Russian competition domestically. Right now in the middle of the pack there. Lost a couple to their fellow country, Russia, in this competition, any side to start. But like we said, they've played better and better as these rounds have gone on. And maybe putting their best performance together here today.
Yeah, if they can hold this out, this will be a huge win on the road. Certainly building in their performances over this competition and managing to win the scrum, which is good. 40 or 20, 15 seconds on the clock. See if we can close this out here.
Past the 80-minute mark, Penza with possession. Taking those valuable seconds off the clock.
Oh, no.
But it pops back out to Georgia. Here comes Topladze. Offload, another. Can they do it? What a turn of events. Kamaladze, the pass. They work it outside. Penza needing one more stop, and I believe they got it.
Yep, the referee's blown there for a turnover. I actually felt like that was extremely fortunate for the Russian team there to get that call. You know, it wasn't clear, it wasn't obvious that they had won that turnover. I actually thought the clear out was pretty effective, but yeah, huge win, massive win for Penza. This is a great result.
Unbelievable, Adam. What a way to put it, as Penza has come into Tbilisi and knocked off Georgia. An upset here to start round 5 of the Rugby Europe Super Cup. What a finish at that. For a moment, we thought Georgia was going to come in and get a try to steal it, right? I mean, what a turn of events at the end.
Yeah, that was really exciting. It was actually interesting to see what happened. So we could obviously see Penza were slowing the ball down just as to sort of tick the clock down at the end of the game. And the ref had actually said that time was up. And after that had happened, the Russian team decided to pick and go the ball once more when they could have actually just picked it out. And as they picked the ball, they actually got it stripped off them, and then it gave the Georgian team one more chance to attack and almost scored from it. So, yeah, they're very lucky that they've managed to get away with that there, because in another situation, that could have been game lost.
So the first loss for Black Lion here in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. This their third match, and Penza gets their first win of this competition. They improve to 1-4, so a win they needed to gain back some points and get themselves in the conversation with just a couple rounds to go. You never know what can happen, but obviously they played hard all day long. We saw moments where they had, 4 or 5 guys just on their knees after a play. And here today, getting the job done, and in an unbelievable fashion at that. 19-16. The final here on the road, mind you, in Tbilisi, Georgia. We saw Andrei Karzanov with a huge try here. That ended up being the difference late in the second half. And then Revaz Brodzelli, the kick, the penalty to make it 19-16 to give his squad the lead. What a performance today for Penza. And yeah, those mistakes crept in pretty much all day long for Black Lions today, and that was really what impacted them in an adverse way, as they had some opportunities. We even saw it here at the end. Unfortunately for Black Lion, unable to capitalize on those. They've got some games, of course, to make up here in the Eastern Conference, as now Penza has 2 on hand over Black Lion at this point, games played-wise. So we'll see when Black Lion is able to make up those competitions and see where they fit in this conference and moving forward where they will be, as this is a very competitive Eastern Conference at that, and it has been since the start of this competition. As we are waiting, and we will go down now to the pitch for more, and we'll hear from both sides of the equation after this one.
Lasha, how will you assess the match against Penza?
თამაში არ წარიმართა ისე, როგორც ჩვენ გეგმავდით. ძალიან ბევრი ჯარი მოვიკიდეთ შეტევაში, რამაც განაპირობა, რომ ჩვენ მოედანზე დავყავით ძალიან დიდი დრო და ქულები აგვიღეს მაქედან.
So the match did not go as we expected, as we got a lot of penalties in attack, and so we've had a lot of time on the field. So this is the result what we've got. Thank you. Thank you.
მადლობა.
Ahora va a entrar el defensa. Entra el defensa. No, es coach. Es que no lo sé. Espera. El entrenador de...
Es Alevan. Модимаштай მე ლევანს მოვიყვანჯობია რომ დაიწყო. ხო. Русулидан.
Поможете перевести, да, кто?
Да, я переведу.
Да, хорошо.
Здравствуйте, Александр. I start. Как вы оцените сегодняшнюю? Да? Speak. Как вы оцениваете сегодняшнюю игру?
Тяжелый матч. Мы проиграли дома. Мы знаем, что франшиза грузинская очень хорошая команда. И сегодня еще раз это доказали. Они поменяли немножко состав. И, конечно, всегда тяжело с ними. Сильная сторона схватки. Тем более мы видим, какие международные матчи играет и их сборная, и национальная сборная. Поэтому с этой командой всегда играть хорошо и здорово. И в любом случае мы становимся от таких матчей только лучше. И спасибо всем регби Евро за то, что делают такие турниры.
I translate. It was a hard match. The Georgian side was tough, and we know how good they play, and we lost against them at home. So we are grateful for this good game and grateful to Rugby Europe for such a good tournament. Так, теперь вы, Сергей. Так. Здравствуйте. Как вы оцениваете сегодняшнюю игру?
Мы выиграли, это главное. Значит, оцениваем хорошо, но у нас не было практики очень долго игровой после чемпионата России. Но, с другой стороны, мы отдохнули, чего нам не хватало в сезоне. Но есть еще над чем работать. Ну, главное, выиграли, а ошибки будем убирать. Спасибо. Мадлоба.
Okay, so we won, and this is the main thing. And we had some lack of game time after the finish of Russian domestic championship, but we won, and it's the main thing. Yeah, thank you.
Main thing, winning. You hear there from the Yanishkin brothers, both the head coach Alexander and Sergey, who made a couple of penalties here today. And I mean, pretty simply put, to pretty much how you put it over the course of this match here today, Adam, Black Lion, they said they made some mistakes, didn't go the way they thought. And Penza, they seem pretty satisfied with the victory here today on the road.
Yeah, they'll be very, very satisfied, Penza. I think this is the definition of a real gritty performance, one where you don't happen to actually have that much ball, but you're tough to beat. You're tough in defence. You work hard. Everybody's putting in 100% maximal effort, and they really did deserve this win today. I think Black Lion will be pretty disappointed. I think the way they started this game, they looked like they wanted to play with intensity. They wanted to create multiple phases of play and get in behind Penza, but I think the area where they kind of let themselves down was just pass accuracy. There was a lot of forward passes, there was a lot of knock-ons, and I think the biggest area of improvement was probably at the attacking ruck, where they can secure their own ball a lot better. There was too many occasions where the Russian team managed to get in and poach and jackal the ball and get a turnover at the ruck. So moving forward, yeah, that's definitely, I think, the biggest area. They've definitely got the ability to build multi-phase rugby and score tries, but they just weren't able to do that because they couldn't secure the ball at the ruck.
And it feels like Penza almost beat Georgia at their own game. And how about Sergey Sikisev and Tyriel Donadze playing the full match here today in that front row, and they were good all throughout, all 80 minutes.
Yeah, they had a huge performance today. Obviously strong on the scrum, strong on the line out and drive and maul, and also to play an 80-minute performance is a huge ask. But you know, those guys need a pat on the back. I thought Gresev, the number 8, had a fantastic performance, and right across the whole team, the ability to put pressure on the ruck was really, really impressive today.
As you see here, there are more matches to be had. And later on today, so just about, let's see, what time is it? About an hour and 8 minutes from now, just about an hour from now, we'll be back live here as we prepare you for the Lusitanos of Portugal and the Brussels Devils as we slide over to the Western Conference. Could that we have another upset? Who knows? It's been a crazy Saturday already here in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. So tune in once again for the second game of our doubleheader. But that will do it for the first game here in Tbilisi, Georgia. An upset, 19-16, Lokomotive Penza to start round 5 here in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. For Adam Ash, I am Tom Eschen. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.